नमस्कार, राज्यसभा टीवी के खास कार्यक्रम संसदीय विवाद में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं अरविंद कुमार सिंह। इस एपिसोड में हम आपको दिखाने जा रहे हैं सेबी संशोधन विधेयक 2014 की। आपने पिछले एपिसोड में देखा कि किस तरीके से वित्त मंत्री अरुण जेटली ने इस विधेयक के समर्थन में बहुत सारी बातें कहीं, वहीं दूसरी ओर तमाम सांसदों ने इससे जुड़ी तमाम आशंकाओं को भी उठाया। इस एपिसोड में आपको दिखाएंगे कि सांसदों ने इस बिल को और मजबूत बनाने की दिशा में क्या कुछ कहा। आइए आपको दिखाते हैं वाद विवाद।
Sri Paul Manoj Pandian.
Sir, the bill is enacted with the object for the establishment of the Securities and Exchange Board with the object of protecting the interest of the investors in the securities market, sir. Sir, at the outset, sir, the bill contains provisions with regard to the search and seizure. Sir, earlier the power was given to the SEBI itself, but now the power is given to a special court at Mumbai. Sir, if an offence is committed, say in Andhra Pradesh, the special court at Andhra Pradesh will be taking cognizance of the offence. The trial will be conducted on a day-to-day basis. But this bill provides, sir, that a portion of the power with regard to the search and seizure will be given to a special court at Mumbai, sir. So when the search and seizure is questioned on the ground of jurisdiction, sir, that the Mumbai court has no jurisdiction, when there is a special court to try the same offence under the same act, sir, I have my own doubt that this point, if it is raised before the court, sir, then it may affect the prosecution. Even the RBI Act of 1934, it provides the power of search and seizure is given by a magistrate. Sir, now it provides that it can be given by a magistrate or a special court of Mumbai, at Mumbai, sir. Therefore, it must be within the local limits. Sir, my second point would be, sir, in the bill, sir, it has been provided that the trial will be conducted by a special public prosecutor. And the bill itself provides, sir, that the public prosecutor must be appointed in terms of section 2U of the Code of Criminal Procedure Code, sir. Sir, this bill provides that a person who's been in practice for not less than 7 years can be appointed. But in the same bill, they provide that the public prosecutor should have a practice of 10 years as provided under 2U, sir. So this has to be considered, sir. And it further goes to say, sir, or a person who has held a post for a period of not less than 7 years under the union or the state, sir. So this means, sir, that a person who is not in practice but who has held a post under the state government or the central government can be appointed. Sir, now we are in the object of disposal of this case before a special court by appointing a special public prosecutor. So a person who has been in active practice, sir, as a special public prosecutor alone can conduct, but not a person who has held a post under the state or the central government, sir. My third point, sir, is with regard to the similar acts, sir, that are prevailing in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Pondicherry. Sir, the validity of all these acts have been upheld by the Supreme Court, sir. Sir, there might be a clash of jurisdiction between the central and state legislation as it has occurred in the case of the Pondicherry Act, sir, where an attachment of a property was made under the Surface Act. And at the same time, an attachment was also made under the Depositors Act. Sir, the Supreme Court held that the act under the Depositors Act will prevail. And therefore, the bill must make it clear, though there is an application, sir, under section 32. Sir, it is also provided that the provisions of this act shall be in addition to and not in derogation of any other law enforcer. It is provided. But however, there is no clarity as to in what circumstances we can apply the cases before the state acts can be taken and also before this act, sir. Sir, and one suggestion I would like to make, sir. Sir, if a case is registered before under the state act, sir, this bill provides that the defaulter himself can come and compound, sir, he can get a consent order, sir. Sir, when a case is registered under the state act, will this bill prohibit such a person to come and get a consent order with regard to the amount that has to be paid to the investors, sir? There is a clash, sir, and we need clarity on this aspect also, sir. In this bill, sir, a list of negative offences also can be mentioned which cannot be closed on the basis of consent orders, sir. Anybody by committing a grave crime, sir, should not take advantage of this to come and get a consent order, sir. And finally, with regard to the sharing of information, sir, when we seek information, sir, there must be a valid order. Sir, they must be put on notice. There must be a speaking order, sir. And also, sir, when we share information with other regulators, sir, it must be with the consent of the central government, sir. So all these issues may be taken into consideration, sir, and I rise to support the bill, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Very valid legal point. Very valid legal point. Sri Naresh Agarwal.
माननीय सभापति जी, हम पोंजी स्कीम के पक्ष में नहीं हैं। हम चाहते पोंजी स्कीम पर और भी कड़ाई हो। आपको मालूम ये बिल देश के एक घराने को बंद करने के लिए लाया गया था। स्टैंडिंग कमेटी में बिल को इस मारे आपत्ति किया था कि एक रेगुलेटर को इतनी बड़ी ताकत अगर आप दे देंगे तो कहीं ना कहीं उसका मिसयूज होगा और ऐसा ना हो देश में उद्योगपति इस देश को छोड़ के जाने लगे। आप देख लीजिए उस जमाने में इस देश में इन्वेस्टमेंट कम हुआ, इन्वेस्टमेंट विदेश में ज़्यादा। मुझे खुशी है आप उसमें थोड़े अमेंडमेंट लिए आई, लेकिन कुछ शंकाएं हैं। CIS जैसे आपका है, कलेक्टिव इन्वेस्टमेंट स्कीम, आप किनको मानती? हम इस बात पर सहमत हैं कि पोंजी स्कीम जो 100 करोड़ से की हो और सेबी में ना रजिस्टर्ड हो, आप उनको सेबी के तहत दे दीजिए। लेकिन ये बताइए, अगर कोई कंपनी नोएडा या गुड़गांव में घर बनाती है, 100 या 50 घर बनाए 2-2 करोड़ रुपए के, 100 करोड़ रुपए हो गए, क्या वो CIS आप मानेंगे? क्या सेबी के अंडर में चला जाएगा? क्या कोई कोऑपरेटिव स्कीम जो 100 करोड़ की होगी, क्या वो भी चली जाएगी उनके अंडर में? आपने परिभाषा दी है 11AA की 2A में, आप कह रही हैं उसमें कि यदि कोई भी स्कीम जो सेबी में पंजीकृत नहीं है उसमें 100 करोड़ या उससे अधिक की समग्र धनराशि का प्राप्त किया जाना कलेक्टिव इन्वेस्टमेंट स्कीम को समझा जाएगा। मैं चाहता हूँ इसमें थोड़ा संशोधन करें, चूँकि पोंजी शब्द ला वाला शब्द नहीं, आप विधिक शब्द ढूंढ लीजिएगा। तो आप लाते पोंजी या पोंजी जैसी स्कीम जो सेबी में पंजीकृत नहीं है और जो 100 करोड़ रुपए का व्यापार कर रही है, उनको आप ले आइए उसके अंतर्गत। एक आपने पावर दे दी कि सेबी जो है वो फ़ोन भी टेप कर सकता है। वैसे भी इस देश में इतने लोगों को फ़ोन टेप करने की पावर मिली है, IB, CBI, ED, इनकम टैक्स, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, अब आप एक सेबी को भी दे देंगे। तो इस देश में तो अगर सबका फ़ोन टेप हो जाएगा तो प्राइवेसी एक्ट काहे का रह जाएगा? तीसरा, कानून जिस दिन से बनता उस दिन से लागू होता। आप तो रिस्ट्रक्टिव इफेक्ट से लागू करे दे रही हैं। फाइनेंस कमेटी ने इसको रिकमेंड नहीं किया, इसमें कोई आपको सुझाव भी नहीं दिए। यही एक प्रक्रिया है। अगर वो स्टैंडिंग के साथ आपके पास रिकमेंडेशन आती फिर आप इसको लाती तो मैं समझता हूँ ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा, लेकिन आप बहुत जल्दी में हैं। माननीय सभापति जी, अमेरिका ऐसे प्रोग्रेसिव देश में भी रेगुलेटर को इतनी पावर देगी जितनी कि आप दी। आप ये बताइए, गोल्डन स्कीम जो चल रही है, क्या ये पोंजी स्कीम नहीं है? अब महिलाएं किट्टी खेलती हैं, अगर बड़े घर की 100 महिलाएं 1-1 करोड़ रुपए की किट्टी डाल दें तो 100 करोड़ की किट्टी क्या सभी स्कीम में आ जाएगी? CIS को आप अगर स्पष्ट नहीं करेंगे तो कहीं ना कहीं दुरुपयोग होने की आशंका होगी। आपने बॉम्बे कोर्ट कर दिया कि बॉम्बे कोर्ट से परमिशन लेंगे। देश में कोई ऐसा लॉ नहीं कि सिर्फ एक कोर्ट पूरे देश को चला सके। हर कोर्ट का ज्यूरिडिक्शन होता है। आप पूरे इंडिया का ज्यूरिडिक्शन एक कोर्ट को दे रहे हैं तो फिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट का एक लिए। ये कानून का उल्लंघन है, वायलेशन ऑफ द कानून। ये नल एंड वॉइड कर दिया जाएगा किसी न किसी जिसने चैलेंज कर दिया। और एक आपका 28A है, 28A में आप सेबी को पावर दे रही धनराशि वसूली की। आप पढ़ लीजिए उसमें क्या क्या पावर दे रही। घुस जाएगा, सील कर लेगा, बंद कर देगा, खुद कोर्ट बन जाएगा। ये कैसे पावर हो जाएंगे? ये पावर तो CBI IB को भी नहीं है। CBI भी अगर किसी को लेती है तो कोर्ट से उसका वारंट लेती है, लेकिन आपने 28A में इतनी पावर देने की बात कर दी है कि लग रहा कि हिंदुस्तान में एक तानाशाह पैदा करे दे रहे हैं। मुझे उम्मीद है कि मैंने जो प्रश्न उठाए हैं उनका उत्तर देने के साथ साथ आप ये बात को सुनिश्चित सदन में करेंगी कि सेबी देश का डिक्टेटर नहीं बनेगा। सेबी देश में लोगों को बचाने का काम करेगा, लोगों को फंसाने का काम नहीं करेगा। धन्यवाद।
Thank you.
Sir, through this amendment, I hope that the regulator, SEBI, will go into the details of many of the frauds happening in the country in the name of share market. But sir, some of the provisions which, like other honorable members said here, may lead to some arbitrariness that I also fear. Sir, but at the name of that arbitrariness, we cannot say that such a strengthening of the provisions is not necessary. Sir, we are hearing a lot of cases from Harshad Mehta onwards, And now in the yesterday newspapers I read a story about a video conferencing facility in Tihar jail. The owner is in Tihar jail and he is trying to sell 20 crores property to give back the debt to the people, and for that the Honorable Supreme Court or High Court arranged a video conferencing facility in the jail. So this is a rare occasion, sir. Such a person was booked because of some continuous struggle by some of the SEBI officers and others. So SEBI and other regulators should be strengthened. But sir, while going to the provision, calling for information and records from any person, including any bank like that, the investigation can be like a fishing expedition. So proper care should be there. The arbitrary attitude of the officers may create problem. And this particular amendment provision will be effective from 1998 onwards. I don't know what is the basic need for that. Then a collective investment scheme, 100 crore is needed. So those which are collecting or collective investment scheme which is less than 100 crore will not come under the purview of this act. I think it should be less. Sir, SEBI is in head office in Mumbai, registered office in Mumbai. That logic is there. But the designated court is only in Bombay for search orders. It can be in states also. Sir, the weakness of the amendment is coming when we are looking into the matter related to the penalties. Here, sir, clause 6. This is about a fine, which shall not be less than 1 lakh rupees, but which may extend to 1 lakh rupee for each day during which such failure continues, subject to a maximum of 1 crore. Each day 1 lakh rupee provision was not there. Now it is like an electricity bill. If I am failing to pay electricity bill on the day, I can give it with fine. If a big company gives 1 lakh rupee per day, means up to 100 days he can make a failure. Then there is a fine about insider trading. Sir, insider trading, earlier it was a huge fine. Okay. Now it is also reduced. So regarding the fine part, penalty part, this amendment is loosened earlier. It is not strict and it is very liberal aspect is there. So that is to be looked into, and the strong punishment should be there for violators.
Okay, thank you. Shri Bhupendra Singh.
डिप्टी चेयरमैन सर, जो छोटे इन्वेस्टर हैं, जिन लोगों ने आरबीआई के गाइडलाइन से बाहर जाके पैसे इकट्ठे किए, जिसको आज सारा देश सफ़र कर रहा है, छोटे व्यापारी से लेके छोटे किसान से लेके देश के सारे शहरों में चीट फंड के रूप में आज जो सफरिंग हो रही है, क्या उसको अंदाज रखते हुए ये सोचा गया कि सेबी को अधिक पावर दिया जाए कि सेबी वहाँ तक पहुँच पाएगी? अगर सेबी वहाँ तक पहुँचना है तो सेबी के जो ब्रांच हैं उसको देश के हर स्टॉक एक्सचेंज तक हमको भी प्रबंध करना पड़ेगा। सर, आरबीआई ने भी कहा है कि जो विलफुल डिफॉल्टर हैं इसके लिए सेबी को पावर दी जानी चाहिए। सेबी की जो रेगुलेटरी बॉडी है, जो चेयरमैन को एक अथॉरिटी को पावर ना दिया जाए, फुल बेंच को, मेंबर को भी उसमें अथॉरिटी रहे। जैसा इलेक्शन कमीशन एक था पहले, तो अभी उसको 3 मेंबर बना दिया गया और उसमें जो मेजोरिटी होती है उसी की बात सुनवाई होती है। तो उसी तरीके से सेबी में भी किसी के दिमाग में ये ना आए कि वो 1 मैन के हिसाब से जो अथॉरिटी है वही कर ले।
आमतौर पर सभी दलों के सांसदों ने इस विधेयक का समर्थन किया, लेकिन उनका मानना था कि जिस तरीके से वित्तीय घोटाले हो रहे हैं और छोटे निवेशकों की लूट हो रही है, उसे देखते हुए ज़मीनी स्तर पर बहुत ही ताकतवर कदम उठाने की ज़रूरत है। फिलहाल लेते हैं छोटा सा ब्रेक और इसके बाद आपको दिखाएंगे ये वाद विवाद।
So I do have another concern with one aspect of this bill. This has to do with the disgorgement of funds that have been collected from scamsters. So right now, the finance minister proposes to park this money in SEBI's Investor Protection and Education Fund. So this money belongs to the investors who have lost their precious life savings. How can you take it and put it aside in another fund? Why doesn't the finance minister earmark one of his trademark 100 crores for the education purpose and ensure that this money goes back, this hard-earned savings of the poorest of the poor goes back to those who invested in cheat funds and Ponzi schemes?
ब्रेक के बाद आपका स्वागत है। आप देख रहे हैं हमारा खास कार्यक्रम संसदीय विवाद विवाद। मैं हूं अरविंद कुमार सिंह। हम चर्चा कर रहे हैं सेबी संशोधन विधेयक 2014 पर। इस विधेयक का समर्थन करते हुए तमाम सांसदों ने ज़मीनी स्तर पर तमाम महत्वपूर्ण बातों को कहा। साथ ही साथ उनका कहना था कि जिस तरीके से वित्तीय घोटाले बढ़ रहे हैं उसे रोकने के लिए ठोस कदम उठाने की ज़रूरत है। आइए आपको दिखाते हैं ये वाद विवाद।
Ishwarlal Jain.
Sir, actually it is the UPA government who had moved it, but now the India government has brought it with minor modifications as to their own tune. Sir, ordinance was there. As per the ordinance, the work was carried out. Now, new bill has come. It has taken place by the new bill, and it should have come into force, and that would have served the purpose also. But here the government has contradicted themselves and their say. I am really surprised to listen this. Sir, special court has been nominated at Mumbai. There may be a reason. The reason may be that the SEBI's office is situated in Mumbai itself. If search and the warrant is to be issued from Mumbai, it could be taken, and anywhere in the country that could be carried out. So I don't think it is any contravention of jurisdiction. Sir, regarding the investment of 100 crores rupees, sir, it is really surprising. Less than 100 means how much then? Again, it's a question of limitations. Even 10 crores may be more for somebody, even 10 crores will be less for some. And so, but this 100 crores, less than 100 crores doesn't fall under that, and above 100 crores falls under that, is something doesn't appeal to a mind, sir. That should be given rethought. Sir, SEBI had themselves with the consultative paper kept on the website from January 20 to 20 of 14. So most of the suggestions had come from the professionals, and so the bill seems to be a very perfect one. It needed the strengthening of the SEBI board.
Dr. Ashok Ganguly.
Sir, I rise to support the bill. There is no question about it that the revised amendment bill has certain positive features, and we should compliment the government for that. One of the features was in the 2014 bill, which has been brought to this House, is to authorize SEBI to enhance penalties imposed by an adjudicating officer while also prescribing minimum levels of penalties for these offences. I think that is the flexibility well defined. However, one of the questions that came to my mind going through the bill, that given the organization of SEBI, does it have enough resources to carry out the enormous task that you are handing over to them? Sir, a lot of people have spoken about the Ponzi scheme. It's an American word from Mr. Ponzi. But the point of the fact is, it is the Punji, anti-Punji scheme. We call it Punji, savings. तो Punji का विरोध में जो होता है, वो ही हमारे देश में widespread. On the other hand, the Ponzi schemes are being used to launder black money. That is a major use of the Ponzi scheme. You will recall that truckloads of depositors' receipts were sent to the SEBI for them to investigate who were the depositor to whom the money was returned by a certain company which I do not wish to raise the name of. Therefore, I think the worry that I have is the SEBI's public pronouncements sometimes border upon an overreach. And I would say that there must be some safeguards also, that this holier than thou and holier than all attitude may not start from one end of the pendulum swinging to the other end.
Shri Rajiv Godaji. Vice Chairman, sir, I'm happy to learn that over the last few years, SEBI has been able to crack down on a number of chit fund and Ponzi scheme scams. Around 20 lakh investors were being cheated out of nearly 20,000 crores. Sir, it was possible for SEBI to investigate these frauds and bring the culprits to book because of the Securities Laws Amendments ordinances that the UPA government had brought in over the last 2 years. It's finally a very great relief to see that after years of these ordinances being extended because of parliamentary disruptions, the Securities Amendment Bill is finally set to become an act. And this will really help to change the whole regulatory environment. So this bill gives SEBI tremendous scope to determine what constitutes a collective investment scheme. It allows potentially fraudulent schemes to be regulated carefully, irrespective of the capital amounts involved, or whether they're started by formal corporate entities or even by individuals. These were gaps in the previous regulatory architecture, sir. This flexibility is vital for SEBI to do its job effectively. So another aspect of this bill is Section 11C, which allows SEBI additional powers, including for search and seizure, for recording statements under oath, etc. SEBI has been empowered to enforce court orders through attaching the violator's property, bank account, through the arrest and detention of the violator. Such kind of powers are absolutely necessary, sir, under certain amount of judicial oversight to ensure that potential violators think twice before indulging in their criminal activities. So the NDA government has also realized the importance of speedy and certain justice. It has retained the provisions in the bill, creating a special court to ensure speedy trials. So at this moment, under the law, under the proposed law, this special court consists of a single judge. So basically, if you think about the challenge, the scope of and the magnitude of the challenge before us, I think this may be a limitation of this bill, sir. And therefore, I would urge him to ensure that such special courts are not just set up in just Mumbai, but across the country, so that in every region we have the judicial architecture strengthened to ensure that white-collar criminals do not get away with their scams. So, over the years, SEBI has really needed a lot of regulatory support to do its job. This can be seen from a report, a survey conducted by SEBI and NCAR in 2011. It showed, sir, that the investor population in India has actually dwindled from 20 million to 10 million in the last 25 years. This has happened despite automation, despite trade guarantees, tax concessions, and a sharp decline in brokerage charges. In India, when you look at the true impact, you see where people are parking their savings. They are parking their savings in fixed deposits in banks, knowing fully well that inflation will reduce the value of their savings. They are focusing their money on the temptations offered by Ponzi schemes, by other elements like chit funds, which are really should not necessarily be part of a modern financial architecture. So SEBI has a huge role to play in fixing this kind of a problem. SEBI has both the roles of a nurturer of the market and of a policeman. And it is not as if these roles are in conflict. The more effective SEBI is as a policeman, the more trust it engenders in the people of India, and the more resources will flow into the stock markets. If SEBI can end scams, then India has a treasure trove of savings below people's pillows, underneath their beds, wherever they park their savings, and that will start coming back into the market, and it will ensure that Indian companies, Indian entrepreneurs can draw on huge resources that are currently lying untapped or being invested in gold. So let me also draw your attention to the non-performing assets of various public sector banks. Numerous promoters have ended up defrauding these banks and somehow have escaped even prosecution, forget arrest and anything more. SEBI needs to go after these sorts of criminals and ensure that our banking system is also strengthened in association with our equity markets. Similarly, many foreign private equity firms had come into India's market and invested in various private sector companies here, sir. Again, various promoters have run away with those resources, siphoned them off, and the private equity players have had no option but to sell their investments at a deep discount just to ensure that their overall portfolio does not get tainted by this particular experience. We need to go after those kinds of crooks and criminals as well, sir, and only then will we be able to attract one more avenue of investment which is crucial to India's growth. So on accountability, I'd like to point out that we must institute a mechanism by which SEBI tells some aspect, some pillar of the government about how well it is doing in terms of its enforcement mandate every year. So I do have another concern with one aspect of this bill. This has to do with the disgorgement of funds that have been collected from scamsters. So right now, the finance minister proposes to park this money in SEBI's Investor Protection and Education Fund. So this money belongs to the investors who have lost their precious life savings. How can you take it and put it aside in another fund? Why doesn't the finance minister earmark one of his trademark 100 crores for the education purpose and ensure that this money goes back, this hard-earned savings of the poorest of the poor goes back to those who've invested in cheat funds and Ponzi schemes, sir? Finally, sir, SEBI has looked at its mandate in a somewhat limited manner. Just like the Reserve Bank of India has adopted a mandate of financial inclusion, which has ensured that banking services reach the poorest of the poor in every village. Similarly, sir, I would think, and I would urge through you, the finance minister, to ensure that SEBI also ends up with financial inclusion as part of its mandate. There is no reason why equity markets and mutual funds should be the preserve of urban, well-heeled individuals. These sorts of markets, these sorts of investment avenues must be accessible to the poorest of the poor, must be accessible to everyone in every village, sir. I believe SEBI can make financial inclusion part of its mandate and give a new meaning to the word equity. It's not just about stocks, sir. It is also about justice and inclusion. Thank you.
कुल मिलाकर सेबी संशोधन विधेयक 2014 पर हुई ये चर्चा राज्यसभा के इतिहास की अच्छी चर्चाओं में से एक मानी जा सकती है। इसमें उच्च सदन के वित्तीय विशेषज्ञों ने जहां तमाम महत्वपूर्ण मसलों पर सरकार की आलोचना भी की, वहीं तमाम महत्वपूर्ण सुझाव भी दिए। इस एपिसोड में फ़िलहाल यहीं तक। अगले एपिसोड में हम दिखाएंगे आपको कि सांसदों ने और क्या कुछ कहा और वित्त मंत्री ने क्या जवाब दिया।
सर्च और सीजर की पावर जो सेबी की डेजिग्नेटेड कोर्ट है उस मजिस्ट्रेट को दी गई है, ताकि सर्च और सीजर करने से पहले उसमें जो जुडिशियल माइंड की जो एप्लीकेशन है उसका प्रभावी रूप से प्रयोग किया जा सके।